The review panel that basically goes to all the theatres.
And when you look at the more-piece system, for artists to apply for those jobs, that system, it doesn't even accommodate us.
So basically what is happening today, it's an exercise that is long overdue. The artists are actually cementing structures that have already started. The purpose of the structure is to create a free flow and a free platform for communication and also for engagement between the government and all other industries. So basically the whole purpose and the exercise is to ensure that the artists get their rights and they get what belongs to them, and they get access to all avenues and all spaces that are actually there for them, to empower them and also to give directive and also to support them in every way that all the other structures surrounding the space can be able to do. This is a new baby, it will take some time for other people to jump into the space, because this is more often an exercise that has to do with documents. This is the policy drafting session. This is where actually we put together our great minds to find a solution that will be able to accommodate all these various sectors within the arts. So the exercise was actually quite interesting. The outlining of the content of the document was very straightforward. All that needs to happen now is that people must go into that space and actually look into the items and the indicators and give more flesh and more content.
Okay, if a company of 12 members, that would be including the administration and technical staff and one full-time or technical staff. And then it needs to have at least 2 people who are actually disabled. Now, disabled, you know that there are people who are impaired, but they have, or maybe we are or maybe speech as right. We found that since they say they are including the technical staff and administration, we feel at this time in your companies as artists, you should have someone who is disabled. If there's 12 members, then 2 must be actually disabled.
That's able to manage an account as a governance structure for these theatre companies, so that the governance structure is accountable for money and for how things operate. It's just that people may audition to join the theatre company, but nationally there's one governance structure. And the governance structure, to be part of it, comes from nominations from the public. So we nominate people in the community who are active or various entities to be on the governance structure to look after the running of the theatre company. Each theatre company in this proposed thing is supposed to get around about 3.5 million per year to produce a minimum of 5 shows. That's also not enough, but the governance structure must work into making sure that there's enough funds and they fundraise. They spoke about an establishment of a review panel, which we like, the review panel that basically goes to all the theatres that are subsidized by the government. A review panel must go and see how those theatres functioning, as accessible to the people. Is the funding going to the right place? As the policy as it currently stands, it says that if funding is not utilized at a particular subsidized theatre, let's say the market theatre, then the funding must go somewhere else, maybe to a municipality to be used in different spaces.
All right, my name is Tembikosi Clement Lubisi, the Ward Councillor of Ward 71. I'm here in the consultative policy of SIFTA, where they are dealing with the artists and the issues of the practitioners. We are supporting this initiative, and we're told that it's for the first time of its kind in the whole country to have a policy consultative conference or gathering. So we are in support of the artists, because artists are playing a meaningful role in our society, where they are keeping our children busy and our young people busy in Davidton, even in our country. In this process, they've even presented all the issues that needs to be dealt with in their policy consultative process. But for us as a city of Ekurhuleni, or as a ward, we wanted to support this initiative in moving forward and be part of all the programs that it will undergo, particularly here in Rhoo hlatshwayo community hall in Davidton, because this initiative helps a lot in the surrounding areas, including other areas of Ekurhuleni.
The policy states that you need to be qualified for that, and we raised the question of who is supposed to capacitate those people and who is supposed to give accreditation. The collaborations between artists and the marketing personnel and the researchers, because if all these people collaborate, we reach a higher market and we create a new market development within that.
The MDDA, Media Development Diversity Agency, it is said to be funding. In terms of the research, information and documentation, they are the ones who can give us the stats of in fact, we spoke about them in terms of the stats, as well as the media database that can be used to get the statistics of the creative industry or the overall, whereas that is part of the research and information that needs to be shared and stuff that needs to be documented in these very same policy documents that we are talking about. People need to know the statistics. How many artists are we talking about?
They say with the Afrikaans Festival Circuit being a key producer and supporter of theatre, particularly in Afrikaans, works are translated into Afrikaans and or that works in languages other than Afrikaans are made available to markets as such festivals through the use of technology and subtitles. I think that my issue around it was that I had an issue with translating work into Afrikaans for a economic benefit. I wonder what that does to heritage, to local tradition and culture. I do think that there perhaps are things that we can learn from the Afrikaans Festival Circuit that are working. I'm just concerned that they're so particularly saying to translate the words.
But we saw that there's a bridge. When it comes to us, we feel like, why are us Africans being left out? Why do not they say, let's translate the words into Zulu, into Tsonga, because that's also a huge part of our heritage. So we just looked past it, we did not want to get too political.
Credibility, to say more figured out when we to the award, they would ask, what is it to I'm not in Tolayo, so it's just a paper that says you're part of this, but there's not even, any, thing or Tolayo. So can you maybe get an accreditation to say, I've won the best director, and it's feeling is totally the organ, the trophy is totally the Egafini, but I am fully the Onyam or Landela. Because it's like having, I think I have 50 certificates from the secondary, because I was hands out, So we are not working anywhere. So we are not working anywhere, So it's like maybe that they could not be money. It's still good to be money, could not But those who will win will be given our grants between a year and 3 years. Can that happen? We are broke, we really need cash.
Award should be issued in all chambers, etc., local and provincial level.
You had spoken about the awards being accredited and that it can't just be a piece of paper and a trophy, and that it needs to be, if a theatre maker or a dancer was to be awarded a trip overseas, I think that there's a lot of learning that happens in that kind of cultural exchange. But I wonder when they come back, is there an expectation of some kind of feedback, or is there support there for that young person to then initiate something with inspiration that they might have received overseas?
Education and training. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome them on the floor.
on adding arts and culture or creative arts within the curriculum in schools, of which we totally agree. But the thing is, this is already in existence. There are schools that are already teaching the arts. But when we looked at the difference, was that in the private schools, arts is more emphasized and well more managed than in the public schools, which is the problem. The 90% theory and the 10% practicals, which is very true. A lot of our kids, they are being taught theory and arts, and that is not the intention. And when you look at the more-piece system, for artists to apply for those jobs, that system, it doesn't even accommodate us. Because it doesn't say you're an artist, musician, and this. It goes the other way around. So for us to have a more stable system within the arts for the recruitment, to also employ the right people, can we start having our own recruitment system within the arts? And also having our own online system that will actually enable artists to know their ability.
What we need to be considerate of in terms of putting artist facilitators in schools as teachers is that there's a very particular requirement and South African Council of Educators registration that any teacher needs to have to be able to teach in the schools.
So to add, academies should be linked to theatres so that they can be continuity, from being developed from the academy, where you get the exit strategy to employment into the theatre.
There's no money, there is no capital to anything. In fact, our parents will never do anything.
When whichever way they want to fund Umuntu, whatever information they gathered from Umuntu, they should get feedback. They should get all our bank details and all of that. So they should do thorough checkups.
We said we need salaries. We talk about retirement funds because we should have a retirement fund for our artists because if she so we must be taken care of because we contributed to the economy of this country.
In most cases, when we are funded, we are only funded for our programs, our projects. No one cares about operational space and stuff. We must get in Mali administration.
I think we need to be careful and I think we need to be conscious of who we are directing funding questions to. I think that we must, as I had written on this other page about the law of society, it's not only the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, it's not only it's not the people that are coming and engaging and that know the faces of, that are the people that we should be approaching. They put themselves in the line of fire, since you're recruiting, coming to be here and talk about funding, but they are not the only people that we should be approaching.
Presentation. And I think we also need to find a way to strengthen what they normally call private and public partnership, so that we emphasize the point of, when you see all these companies who are offering their corporate social investment, because when you go in the art sector, it's heavily affected. So through the private-public partnership, that's where I think we need to rely on so that we can aid more funds, so that we can make sure that every private company that they need to.
There's a whole discourse around imperialistic art. When I'm saying that I commend the Department of Arts and Culture for embarking on a program to formalize the arts. Because at the moment, the art scene is made up of post-family communities whose cultural ethos is domestic, Afro-spiritual, and that it is that in that domain that there is a meaningful connectivity, and that dance and performance in that milieu is both relevant and directly impacting and a great influence and catalyst in their lives. Sangomas, we are trends, we are dancer, friends of hip-hop stuff. I would like this program to integrate with the traditional spirit to the art.